Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about a few ways that you can really encourage yourself to continue learning outside of the classroom. So the first thing I want to talk about is just to have an open mind to learning outside the classroom and continued learning, which I know sounds like that's obvious. That's why you're here. You're already open-minded to it. But I think that it can be really easy to get mistaken there. Especially I've noticed that sometimes when I'm leaving a class, I want to be focused on something else. And so you kind of that's in class stuff and this is school and whatever. But, if you want to be able to continue learning outside and, keep, thinking about what it is you're passionate about, which I assume you are if you're studying it, keep yourself aware to be open-minded to continue learning and to let it, continue happening even in small moments, and especially when you're not, again, in the classroom. So the next thing is to, surround yourself with whatever it is you're trying to continue learning, whether that, means mentally or physically or, how you spend your time. There are a few different ways that you can go about that. And that's the next thing I want to talk about is just some ways that you can do that. So, I come at this from the experience of an English major, and you may not be watching this, so you can kind of just apply this how you see fit to your major. So just, reading, watching TV and movies, listening to podcasts, or even music, and, like what you're doing right now, watching YouTube, watching people who have similar interests, and, learning in a not strict learning environment, which is where I find I learn the most because there's no pressure on it. I can just enjoy what I'm doing. So, as an English major, reading can go anywhere from textbook style reading, where you're reading maybe, I've got my anthology right here for my class. This could be reading as much as I've got another book here that's it's not a narrative book, but, this is a nonfiction but still normal book. Either of those really can be considered learning continued outside the classroom, because I'm a creative writing major, so learning from the ways that, Ashley would write and how she would go about doing something just as much as reading an anthology of classic writers. It can be a casual way of learning. It does not have to be sitting there and studying, but just keeping it in your mind and letting your mind continue to think more on it. And that goes for, the watching and the listening and the YouTube. You can be watching something like this, or you could be watching a crash course video, or you could just be watching somebody's book review if you're an English major and you want, all those kinds of things. It does not have to be strict. It can be very casual learning. Your brain will still recognize it and it will still make its way in, and it may teach you better than what you're used to in a classroom. And, to bring all of that together, the last thing I wanted to touch on was just to pay attention to, yes, you can do casual learning, but again, with the letting your mind be open, let your mind be open to those thoughts and ideas, pay attention to them, and let them seep in, and, create ideas of your own. If you're reading, but you're not paying attention to what you're reading, or why it's important, or what that sparks in your own mind, and what passions it brings up, or whatever, then you're not getting the full potential of your time. I find that when I'm really open and I pay attention to the things that I'm consuming and what's around me, I think about things in different ways. And I think a lot of the times we're so used to this structured way of learning that we have that we don't realize the opportunity in front of us to learn in so many different ways from so many different things. And I hope that you guys find this helpful, and let me know in the comment section if there are any other ways you think I missed. I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!